Welcome to VLearn Advanced Operating System, session number 11. In this session, we will going to study about virtual memory. Topics covered in this session are hardware and control structure, execution of a program, types of memory, thrashing, paging, translation, look-aside buffer, page size, segmentation, relation between segments, and replacement policies. Clock policy operation, cleaning policy, process suspension, data structures. Now starting with hardware and control structures. The memory references are dynamically translated into physical addresses at runtime. A process may be swapped in and out of main memory just to occupy the different regions. A process may be broken up into pieces that do not need to be located contiguously in main memory. All pieces of a process do not need to be loaded in a main memory during execution. Only the particular part of a program are loaded into memory which are executed at present. Execution of a program. How a program is executed in main memory. Operating system brings a program into main memory of a few pieces of the program only. Resident set. It is the portion of a process that is in the main memory. An interrupt is generated when an address is needed that is not in the main memory. Operating system places the process in a blocking state. Execution of a program. How a program is executed. A piece of process that contains the logical address is brought into main memory and the operating system issues a disk input output read request. The another process dispatches to run while the disk input output takes place. An interrupt is issued when a disk input output complete, which causes the operating system to places the affected process in the ready state. Now some of the advantage of breaking a process into different size. More processes may be maintained in main memory, only load in some of the pieces of each process. With so many processes in the main memory, it is very likely that a process will be in ready state at any particular time. A process may be larger than all of a main memory. Types of memory. Real memory, virtual memory. Real memory is the main memory and virtual memory is the memory that is present on the disk. It allows the effective multiprogramming and relieves the user of type constraint of main memory. Now starting with thrashing. Swapping. It is the swapping in and out of a piece of process just before that piece is needed. The processor suspends most of its time swapping pieces rather than executing the user's instruction. Principle of locality. The program and data references within a process tends to cluster. Only a few pieces of process will be needed over a short period of time. Then it may be also possible to make intelligent guesses about which piece will be needed in the future. This suggests that the virtual memory may work efficiently. Some of the supports needed for virtual memory are hardware must support paging and segmentation process. The operating system must be able to manage the movement of pages or segments between the secondary memory and a main memory. Now what is paging? Each process has its own page table. Each page table entry contains the frame number of the corresponding page in the main memory. A bit is needed to indicate whether the page is in main memory or it is in the secondary memory. Now what is modification bit in page table? The another modification bit is needed to indicate if the page has been altered since it was last loaded into main memory. If no changes has been made, the page does not have to be written to the disk when it's need to be swapped out. Page table entries. Page table entry, it is a typical memory management format between the virtual addresses and the page table entries. The virtual addresses contains the page number and its offset. Page table entry contains the other control bits and the frame numbers. Now, how the address is translated during the pagination of any program. It shows how the virtual addresses are linked with frame, offset, page table and registers. This diagram shows how the two-level scheme of a 32-bit address works. It is a two-level hierarchy of a page table. Now what are page tables? The entire page table may take up too much memory space, so the page tables are also stored in virtual memory. When a process is running, the part of its pages and table is in the main memory. Now what are translation look-aside buffer? Each virtual memory references can cause two physical memory access, one to fetch the page table and one to fetch the data. To overcome this problem, a high-speed cache is set up for a page table entries. That is called TLB, Translation Look Aside Buffer. The TLB also contains the page table entries that have been most recently used and functions same way as a memory cache. Translation look aside buffer also gives a virtual memory address and processor which examines the TLB. If the page table entries is present, then the frame number is retrieved and the real address is formed. If page table entry is not found in the TLB translation look aside buffer, then the page number is used to index the process page tables. First of all, we check if the page is already in the main memory. If it is not in the main memory, then a page fault is issued. Then the translation look aside buffer updates to include the new page entries. Now how the operation of a paging and translation works. This diagram shows the operation of paging translation in the look aside buffer. Page size. Page size depends upon the operating system and the hardware on which it is allocated. Smaller page size, less amount of internal fragmentation. The smaller page size, more pages will be required per process. More pages per process means larger page table, and larger page table means larger portion of page table in virtual memory. In secondary memory, it is designed to efficiently transfer large block of data, so a large page size is a better than small page size. Small page size is larger number of page size which will be found in main memory. As the time goes during execution, the page in the main memory will contain portion of the process near the recent references and the page fault low. It increases the page size, causes the page to contain the location further from any recent references, and due to which the page faults rises. Now this diagram shows how the typical paging behavior works. Page size. The multiple page size provides the flexibility needed to effectively use a TLB, translation look aside buffer. Larger page can be used for a program instruction, small page can be used for a thread, and most operating systems supports only one page size. This diagram shows the different page size supported by different operating system. Segmentation may be unequal dynamic size of the memory. It simplifies the handling of growing data structure and allows the program to be altered and recompiled independently. It lends itself a sharing of data among the different processes and lends the protection between the different processes. Now, how the segmentation table works. In correspondence to the segment in a main memory, each entry contains the length of the segment and a bit it is needed to determine if the segment is already in the main memory. The another bit is needed to determine if the segment has been modified since it was loaded in the main memory. Now, how the segment table entries work. It is a typical memory management format. This diagram shows the segmentation of the memory, which contains the control bits, length, and the segment base. Now, how the combination of paging and the segmentation can work effectively. Paging is transparent to the programmer, and paging eliminates external fragmentation, and the segmentation is visible to the programmer. The segmentation allows for growing data structure, modularity, and support for sharing and protection. Each segment is broken into different sizes for segmentation and for equal sizes for pagination process. This diagram shows how the combination of segmentation and pagination work. How do we relate between different segments of different processes? This diagram shows a block of main memory which contain process A, process B and process C, which are occupying the different memory spaces, and the references, if process A tries to references the process B memory space, then it is not allowed and blocked. Fetch policies. Fetch policies determines when a page should be brought into memory, and the demand paging only bring pages into the main memory when a reference is made to a location on the page. Many page faults when process first started. The pre-pages brings in more pages than needed more efficiently to bring pages that reside contiguously on the disk. Replacement policies. It is just opposite of the placement policies. Starting with placement policies. Placement policies bring the pages which are replaced, and the page removed should be the page least likely to be referenced in the near future. And some of the most policies redirect the future behavior on the basis of the past behavior. Frame locking. If a frame is locked, it may not be replaced, and the kernel of the operating system controls the structures and the input-output buffer. It associates a lock bit with each frame. Starting with the basics of replacement algorithm. Optimal policies. It selects for the replacement that the page for which the time to the next references is the longest. If it is impossible to have a perfect knowledge of the future event. Least recently used program. It replaces the least recently used pages with that has not been referenced for a longer time. By the principle of locality, this should be the page least likely to be referenced in the near future. Each page should be tagged with the time of the last reference. This would require a great deal in the overhead. Now the first in and first out. It treats page frames allocated to a process as a circular buffer, and the pages are removed in round robin style. The simplest replacement policies to implement, and the pages that has been in memory for the longest time are replaced by this process. The pages may be needed again very soon. Now how the clock policy work. Clock policy is an additional bit called as a use bit. When a page is first loaded in main memory, the use bit is set to 0. When a page is referenced, then the use bit is set to 1. When it is a time to replace a page, the frame first bit encountered with the use bit set to 0 is replaced. During the search for the replacement, each use bit set to 1 is changed to 0. Now this diagram shows how the clock policy operations work. Now the basic replacement algorithm. Page buffering. It replaces the page that is added to on the to list. Free page list if the page is not been modified, and if it modified, then it is on the modified page list. Fixed allocation. It gives a process to, to find the fixed number of pages within which it executes. When a page fault occurs, one of the pages of that process must be replaced. What is variable allocation? The number of pages allocated to a process varies over the lifetime of the process. Easiest to implement. The variable allocation and the global scope are easiest to implement, that are adopted by many operating systems, and the operating system keep list of free frames. The free frames is added to resident set of process when a page fault occurs. If no free frame are available, then we replaces one from the another process. When new process is added, the allocated number of page frame are based on the application type, program request or other criteria. When a page fault occurs, the selected page from the among the resident set of the process that suffer the fault. Re-evaluation of the allocation from time to time is taken. Cleaning policies. It demands the cleaning. A page is written out only when it has been selected for replacement. And what is pre-cleaning? The pre-cleaning is the pages are written out in batches. Now starting with the cleaning policies. The best approach used by a page buffer is the replaced pages are placed in two lists, modified and unmodified. The pages in the modified list are periodically written out in the batches, and the pages in the unmodified list are either reclaimed if referenced again or lost when its frame is assigned to another page. Load control. Load control is used to determine the number of processes that will be resident in main memory, and too few processes, many occasions when all the processes will be blocked and much time will be spent in swapping in and out of the processes. Too many processes will be led to thrashing of the system. Now what is process suspension? The lowest priority process and faulting process. The faulting process does not have its working set in main memory, so it will be blocked anyway, and the last process activated. What is last process activated? The last process activated, this process is least likely to have its working set of residents. Process suspension. The process with the smallest resident set, that process requires the least future efforts to be reloaded, and the largest process obtains the most free frames The process with the largest remaining execution window. The Unix and Solaris memory management. How the Unix and Solaris memory management works. It uses the pagination system, page table, disk block descriptor, page frame data table, swap use table. Data structure. Now how the Unix memory management format works. It contains the page frame number and the age, time that is spent by the page in the memory, the swap device number, swap block number, and the type of storage. This diagram shows how the page frame data table entry works and the swap use table entry works. Do it yourself. Now some of the topics that must be covered by students are different type of data structures and what is fetch policy. Thank you. That's all for this session.